again, what witness what personality is the plaintiff assuming at this moment in time?
Wesley.
Is it possible for the plaintiff to go back into the personality of Paul for a few minutes?
It's possible.
Can the witness do that?
Yes.
Is the witness now Paul Benassi?
No.
Would the witness become Paul Benassi for a few moments?
Yes.
Paul?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Paul Benassi now the witness? And Paul Benassi has been sworn to tell the truth. Is that your understanding, Mr. Benassi?
Yes.
Mr. Benassi, I asked you a series of questions prior to the time that we took a break. The gist of which related to your ability to give full and complete answers to the questions that you have been asked at this deposition, not only today, but in the past 3 days. Do you recall those questions?
Yes.
And do you recall what you told me about your ability to give full and complete answers to the questions?
Yes.
Could you repeat what you believe your ability to give full and complete answers to all of the questions that have been asked of you is?
I am able to give full and complete information about activities and events that have occurred in any of the personalities who have fully integrated into myself. The information sometimes is not complete because there's still other personalities who have not been integrated, and even when they're co-conscious, are not able at the spur of the moment to give details because while I'm giving my information and their thoughts coming in, it overloads the system and it creates a headache, and then that makes me unable to access memory adequately.
So, in other words, you could get on the witness stand at the time of trial, and you intend to, I assume. Is that correct?
Yes.
And testify that there were other personalities that weren't present at the deposition or weren't integrated, and you now have new memories about facts.
Not new memories, they're old memories that simply have not been stated before. And I am not Paul right now, I am Wesley.
Why are you Wesley now?
Because I am tired of you people doing this to him. I was attempting to make everything go away all of the time. I don't care about any of this stuff.
Why are you here then?
Why? Because I'm tired of what you're doing to Paul. I'm tired of what you're doing to him.
What is it that we're doing to Paul?
What is it that you're doing to him? You're questioning him, you're sitting there saying things that don't make any sense.
Do you understand, Wesley, that Paul brought this lawsuit? This is Paul's lawsuit.
No, Paul didn't bring a lawsuit.
Who brought the lawsuit?
Mikey brought the lawsuit.
Why is the name on the petition and the complaint listed as Paul Benassi?
Because we had to go under Paul Benassi's name because he's the body.
Well, who's Mikey?
Mikey's a personality who contains more information than Paul ever did, because Paul's life was just like nothing.
So the defendants and the jurors are not going to be able to rely on the reliability of what Paul's told us?
Yes, they are. What I'm saying is that Mikey is the one who, in fact, started relating memories in 1986. He is the one who went to NPI. He is the one who started telling the police everything. That is why, from 1986 till the time I graduated, people called me Mike and not Paul. Paul couldn't understand why people called him Mike. But Paul's information that he has given is true and is accurate because he has gotten all the information from the other personalities that have integrated with him. They have not integrated with Mikey, with him.
If Wesley contains all of the memories, why hasn't Wesley been present to testify so that there could be a complete record in this case?
Why? Like I said, I didn't want anything to do with this.
But
Until today, I was totally against him. I was totally against Paul, against Mikey. I hated what they were doing. How do you think it makes me look to sit there and remember that I was a prostitute, to remember that I used drugs, to remember that I did those things? I don't like to remember those things. I don't want to bring those up. That's why I have tried to destroy them.
have you tried to keep them from remembering all of the facts and events as they occurred?
I've attempted in the past, but normally I just let it go anymore.
Yes. You're supposed to answer these questions. Does this have to do with Monarch?
Yes.
If I use the code, will that help? Which I just obtained in the last hour. D6413782, program XPY Eagle Alex Hope. Please go ahead and answer all questions.
I was created by a government program,
Which government program?
Monarch.
And what is Monarch?
Monarch is an operation that was created by the United States government to create spies for other countries. They use children for the purpose that they're easily integrated into multiple personalities because they can dissociate. Monarch is a program that is run by Michael Angelo Aquino, who was an Army Reserve colonel at Presidio. He is also the leader of the Temple of Set. He also runs a child daycare center. He also is involved in human sacrifice.
Is he employed by the United States?
Yes,
At what facility?
Presidio, California.
Is that in San Francisco area? Presidio
Yes.
Naval Base?
Yes.
Do you mean Mr. Aquino? Who in Monarch created you?
I was created by Monarch. I do not know who.
What were you told when you were 4 years old that you recall now about the Monarch program?
When I first got involved, I was molested by an airman from Offutt Air Force Base who was involved in Monarch. His job was to recruit kids from the local neighborhood who he could make dissociate by doing traumatic things to them at a very young age. Later on, when they get to school age, they would simply pick me up at school and I would simply miss a day or two for training.
Now, is it your testimony that there was a United States plan or plot which intended to create multiple personality syndrome or dissociative personalities in children?
Yes, to my knowledge.
And that you were a victim of a plot of the United States? And that that's when your multiple personalities first began to develop?
Yes.
Who programmed
That
you?
were not involved. I was programmed by Monarch.
Who?
That includes psychiatrists from Offutt Air Force Base.
Who is that?
I do not know. They never allowed us to know names except for our direct controller, which was Bill Clemens. I only knew of a Colonel Aquino because I was also involved in the Temple of Set.
When were you programmed?
I was programmed beginning in 1974.
Were you trained in the area of prostitution and homosexuality?
Yes,
And where did that training take place?
off the Air Force Base.
And did that also occur in 1974?
Yes,
And how long a period of time did that training last?
roughly 1974 until 1980.
So during those years, you received periodic training about homosexuality and about prostitution.
Yes.
Anything else that you've received training on?
Yes.
What?
How to photograph documents in my mind to be able to relate that information to deprogrammers at a later date.
Have you personally engaged in any spying?
Nothing that would be considered spying.
Positions.
They found people, I didn't.
Oh, okay,
They
so,
set up the engagements and the encounters with the person. I simply was told to, when they program the personality, or the triggers, as I called them, they would call me up and they would use a code. I would simply switch into that trigger, go to where they told me to go, whether it would be get on an airplane because they would already have the tickets there. They would have the tickets there under a name that only that trigger would know, and go to wherever it was. There would be somebody waiting for them in that city and take them to wherever it was that they were supposed to go, bring them back to the airport, put them on the plane. They would come back home, and as soon as they walked in the door, the memory of everything that had just happened would be erased.
Gone.
Completely.
Again, let me ask you, are all of the people that you are aware of who are involved in the operation Satanists?
No, not at all. Many.
Many are Satanists.
Yes.
Do you have any knowledge about whether the Monarch operation involves a United States sponsorship, or whether it's just simply coincidental that many of the members of Monarch happen to be working for the government?
I am not aware of Monarch's true producer. In words, I know that all of its leaders are politically inclined and are current and or members of Congress, the Senate, or